We didn't get to go to the Caribbean. No. We didn't get to go to Bermuda. No. We didn't get to go to the Bahamas. We didn't get to go to Tahiti. We didn't get to go to the Orient. We didn't get to go anywhere. We didn't get to go to Australia. Oh, wow. Now we couldn't go anywhere. Who is it? Come in.
Question is, my dear, do you want to see me?
What?
You sound very angry. What is all of that?
Well, I threw everything there. I'm angry. I'm furious. I am just furious with Frisco. He thinks about nothing but the WSB. He doesn't care about anything except for playing cloak and dagger with Sean. He doesn't care about me. He doesn't... All he thinks about is the WSB, and he doesn't care about me.
Did that work?
What?
Throwing things.
Yes, it does.
What?
What?
I don't see it works for me.
Oh. Sometimes it takes more than one thing, Bobbie. Be sure you don't break anything, because if you break something, then it makes you even more angry, and you don't want to get any more angry, because that defeats the whole purpose of throwing everything. Why are you so upset?
Good old smirky Lucy Coe. You got problems with the WSB?
Yes, I know I do.
You don't know what a problem is until you come up against Lucy Coe. Would you like me to continue this, or you want to let us a little more steam?
Oh, no, I'm fine. I don't want to hurt the pillows anymore. You go ahead.
I sound like such a grind whenever I talk about it. You know, I feel like I'm this lonely voice out in the wilderness.
Oh, please don't be lonely. I'm right here.
Well, thank you very much, because I can't stand that glazed look that I get in Jake's eyes every time I mention the name Lucy Coe. You want to hear about her latest stunt? Nobody in the world will believe that it was a stunt except for me.
I would.
Tony decided yesterday to give little Lucy a little birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
However, Lucy had invited Jake and me to come over there for lunch because we have some problems and we had to talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
So there we are, Jake and I over there, when Lucy walks in to Tony's happy birthday banner and surprise, and she acts so touched and so surprised and so sweetly, sickeningly sentimental.
Ah. So she knew he was giving her that surprise birthday party all along?
Very perceptive, my dear, and thank you very much. Every single time I try to bring this up to Jake, he acts as though he's shocked about the way my mind works.
Well, Lucy brings out the worst in everybody.
And the thing is, I know she did it for our benefit. I can't prove it, but I know she did it for our benefit. She just played the whole thing.
She must have been convincing, huh?
Ah, to the man, are you kidding? Of course. Not to me, though. She's like this poor little match girl who's being adopted by Daddy Warbucks.
I know exactly what you mean, and you can't breathe a word of it to Tony either, can you?
Not to Jake, either.
What is she up to?
Tony. She's worming her way into Tony's life.
Tony got angry with me the other day because I said something like that. And I said, I'll just stay out of your personal life.
Is Frisco aware of what's going on?
Bobbie, Frisco only knows the WSB.
And when I say anything to Tony, he just becomes more protective of little Lucy. And I have to be very careful of what I say to him because I don't want to drive him into her clutches.
When Frisco and I were there, she made it perfectly clear that she was the lady of the house.
Huh. You know, the thing is, you can't blame Tony for any of this. And it's true. After you lose somebody that you really love, it takes at least a year before you can even feel straight about it. And it's common knowledge. You're not supposed to make any important decisions, not for a very long time.
I miss Tanya. She was really good for us. All of us.
You really do lose your identity when you lose a partner that you really love. It takes a while before you really know who you are again.
I really do.
Well, I'm just going to wait for her to make another mistake, only this time with witnesses. Because I'll tell you something, you can't say anything if you can't prove it. Lord knows I've lived with a lawyer long enough to know that.
I'm definitely going to keep an eye on her. You know, there's been something in the back of my head, and I really can't figure it out. It's about Tanya.
Give it your best shot.
Well, it seems to me that when Tony faced his loss, he found it unendurable. Now, if he could just realize that, well, what I'm trying to say is that it wasn't a complete loss, because we still have Tanya in our hearts. And if we could figure out some way that he could just let that go.
Felicia?
What?
That's it. What you just said. About letting it go.
How?
Well, you remember that idea that Tanya had about setting up a child care center at General?
Yes, I do. And we were going to continue on with it after she died as a memorial.
Well, come on, let's get on with it now, because it's a terrific idea, and it's going to be very good for all of us. And I think it'll be especially good for Tony, because then he won't feel such a sense of complete loss.
Starting to feel good about this already.
You know what we have to do with this? We've got to take it to Steve Hardy.
All right, when?
Right now?
Right now. I'll get my bag.
Cross off Abbott, Frisco.
Abbott, check.
All right. Next one is Ackerman, John L. There we go.
Yeah, that's a match, isn't it?
All right, check off Ackerman, Frisco. Next one, Adams, Harold L.
Yeah, that matches.
All right. Who's next?
Barrett, Roger. Check.
All right. Here, Roger.
Brown.
Wait a minute, not so fast. Take a closer look at this.
What is it?
Wolfgang, give me that partial thumbprint we took off the phony antidote file.
Oh, here it is.
All right, thanks. Thank you. Frisco, it matches. It matches.
Roger Barrett.
Those were his prints that weren't in the personnel file.
So he's the imposter?
You got it. Our DPX agent. Connie, would you come to my office immediately, please? Thank you. All right, now let's go through the records and see how many times that Roger entered and exited the lab, all right?
Yes, Mr. Donnelly.
Thank you for coming in. Is Dr. Barrett in the lab?
No.
Where is he?
He's attending a lecture
Where?
at the Port Charles University. Is something wrong?
No, Connie, nothing's wrong at all. Thank you very much for coming in, all right? Appreciate it. Let's go. I want you to get the squad car, go to the university, pick up Barrett. I'm going over to General Hospital to check on Greta. See you later.
So, come on, let's sit down. Tell me, what is it you want to talk to me about?
Audrey, did you ever hear anything about Tanya's idea to set up a daycare center here at the hospital?
Oh, I do remember Steve telling me that Tony had approached him about Tanya's idea, but, of course, the trouble was that it was the day that she was in the accident and was killed, so I'm sure it's just wiped right out of Steve's mind.
Yeah, well, same with us. But we've talked about it a couple of times as a memorial for Tanya.
Well, there certainly is a need for a daycare center here. I can't tell you how many nurses have given up their jobs when they've had their children because they just couldn't find the proper care for their children while they were working.
We'd like to call the center the Tania Jones Child Care Center.
Oh. And I happen to know what a big economy kick the board is on right now, so we need to find exactly the right person to present it to.
You want Steve?
Yes, we do.
I hear he's the only match for Edward Quartermain.
That he is.
Audrey, when is the best time to talk to Steve about this?
Let's see, I know he's having a meeting with the staff in the cafeteria this afternoon. What do you say the three of us corner him right after the meeting?
So we can get the ball rolling right away?
Right away. As a matter of fact, come on. Let's go right now. This isn't finished.
Audrey, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. What? This really is a marvelous idea.